welcome to Mitv Primetime News. We're so sorry tonight for starting late due to some technical issues we're experiencing here at the studio. We are so sorry. Moving on with the news tonight, the chairman of the Senate Appropriation Committee, Senator Adiola Olamilekan, on Wednesday directed the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, to appear before the committee in 24 hours. Olamilekan, who asked Kyari to appear in company of the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPLC, when that failure to appear undermines the legislature and sabotages the process. They are required to present a list of all individual companies operating with OML licenses and Nigeria's oil as total production output approved on a daily basis. The lawmaker expressed concern that some of the revenues required to drive the 2024 budget was attributed to the NNPCL, which according to him was owned by the federal government and responsible to it, and by extension the three arms of government. The NNPCL had earlier shown for a second time summoned by the Senate to appear before its committee probing over 11 trillion naira expenditure and turnaround maintenance of refineries in the country between 2010 and 2023. Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Special Duties has commended State House for its reluctance in appearing before the committee to defend its budgetary estimate. Chairman of the committee, Senator Shehu Kaka, made the commendation shortly after the Permanent Secretary of State House, Mr. Funsho Adebiyi, appeared before the committee for its budget defense section on Wednesday in Abuja. Kaka said it was cherished that the State House was setting an example to all the ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, by appearing first to defend its budget, giving the directives of the President of Senate that MDAs should not sabotage budget defense process with unnecessary delays. Kaka urged all other MDAs under the oversight of the committee to emulate the prompt response of the State House in appearing for the budget section, saying that all MDAs would appear to defend their activities for 2023 and 2024 proposal. The Permanent Secretary of State House, Mr. Funsho Adebiyi, disclosed that the 2024 budget was aimed at consolidating the gains recorded in 2023. Still in the National Assembly, the House of Representatives Committee on Customs has reaffirmed its commitment to work diligently to make sure that the Nigerian Customs Service operates with integrity, efficiency, and effectiveness so as to contribute to Nigeria's economic prosperity and security. Chairman of the committee, Leke Abejide, stated this on Wednesday during the inaugural meeting of the committee. House of Representative Correspondent Linda Ike reports that the committee said that it will review existing policies to align with international standards, such as the African Continental Free Trade Area.
We must strive to balance the need for revenue collection with the facilitation of legitimate trade, while also ensuring that our borders remain impenetrable to illicit goods and activities. I hereby crave the need for effective teamwork and collaboration. I am privileged to work with such an experienced group of committee members. I am very confident that by combining our collective expertise and applying our diverse perspectives, we can make a significant contribution to the success of Nigeria Customs Service and the advancement of Nigeria economic agenda. In addition to our internal collaboration, we will also work closely with relevant ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, as well as stakeholders from the private sector to achieve our shared objectives.
In another development, the House Committee on Interior had assured to focus on addressing the security challenges facing the nation. Chairman of the committee, Aminu Chindo, gave the assurance during the committee's inaugural meeting. Similarly, Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility said its mandate is to empower businesses through a robust legislation that will embrace CSR as a natural extension of their core operations through interface and oversight. Chairman of the committee, Lilian Orogu, disclosed this at the inauguration of the committee.
The House Committee on CSR aims to promote and encourage a culture of responsible business practices throughout our nation. We believe that every company, regardless of its size or sector, has a role to play in shaping a sustainable future. To achieve this, we will constantly engage all relevant stakeholders in an extensive dialogue with companies, non-governmental organizations, and expert stakeholders to understand the challenges and opportunities on the ground. Through these discussions, we will identify best practices and develop guidelines tailored to the unique
all
needs
those track up,
of
go
our
shops.
diverse
One my
business
budget is not
landscape.
all the track up we have should be short. Yes.
Streamlining CSR reporting mechanisms, ensure
Our focus lines addressing the nation's security challenges with oversight, responsibility covering the Ministry of Interior, the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Immigration Service, and the Nigerian Fire Service. To enhance internal security, we pledge on variable legislative support, emphasizing development technology.
Here in Lagos, the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has sworn in additional 2 new members into his cabinet. Governor Sanwo-Olu, at the ESCO Chamber, Lagos House Ikeja, performed the swearing-in ceremony of the newly appointed members, who were Abiodun Ogunleye as the Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources and Olufemi Daramola as Special Advisor on Infrastructure. He urged the newly appointed cabinet members to hit the ground running to take their responsibilities to an enviable height for them to meet the yearnings and expectations of the citizens. The governor also called on Ogunleye to help achieve the energy sufficient of the Goshens and meet up the expectations in order to unbundle the sector. Giving the vote of assurance, Ogunleye expressed appreciation for the opportunity to serve in the Lagos state government, promising that they will do their best to ensure the purpose of the Team Plus agenda will actualize.
Conduct it as we're running Lagos PLC. And so once again, I want to congratulate you. I want to say to you that these are 2 critical ministries, that we have just staffed. This is an important office. It's an important ministry for us because we led in the conversation at the actualization of the unbundling of that sector as a government. And so we will carefully, I brought in, someone that we believe that can help achieve and realize the energy sufficiency that we require to meet
Osho State Commissioner of Police, CP Ishaku Mohammed, has presented checks of about 20.5 million naira to kinsmen of late police officers in Osho State who lost their lives in active services. The CP said the gesture is an initiative of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, designed to cushion economic effect that the families of the late officers might be experiencing as a result of death of their loved ones. The CP said the financial aid supported by the federal government through an insurance scheme is an indication that the federal government and the IG of police are passionate about the welfare of the officers and their families. He urged the beneficiaries, which include daughters, sons, wife, and others, to make judicious use of the financial aid, particularly for the children's upkeep and their education. With the gesture, families of rank and file of late officers get 500,000 naira, ASP to CSP gets 1 million naira, while families of officers ranging from Assistant Commissioner of Police and above get 2 million naira respectively. After receiving their checks, the beneficiaries who spoke with emotions lauded the federal government and the Inspector General of Police for the kind gesture.
Program like this or presentation of checks like this serve as encouragement to other policemen. At least it sent a message that the Inspector General of Police and indeed the government of Nigeria are with the Nigerian police and the IG is with us. So this will encourage us to put in our best to the service, to the nation, and to show us that we should put our best in the service to the nation. I want to urge the division of this church to use this money judiciously. For those that have young children, they should use the money to train them to school so that tomorrow they will take care of them.
I'm here to collect the check for my family, and I really appreciate the government for what they did for us. Really appreciate, because ever since my dad died, it has not been easy, but we thank God. God has been faithful.
I'm here to collect the check on behalf of my late dad. So I'm hereby appreciating the federal government, the Nigeria Police Force, and I appreciate both the President of Nigeria for issuing this check to us. At least we have something to stand by now. We really appreciate the government, the Inspector General of Police. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for not forgetting us after the death of our parents.
I hereby use this moment to appreciate the government, the police officers and the IGs for what they have done for us, for not forgetting us and remembering us. Thank you for what you've done, and God always bless you.
Finance high cost of land acquisition, inadequate infrastructure, and efficient regulatory processes and unfavorable policies, among others, have been identified as challenges facing real estate developers in joint ventures in Nigeria. These, among others, were highlighted on Tuesday in Lagos at the 2023 Mandatory Continuing Professional Development (MCPD) by the Lagos State Chapter of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers teamed Opportunities and Challenges in Joint Ventures and Development Leases. Our property developer and leading facilitator of the workshop, Akintola Oladejo, who dwelt extensively on the theme, said real estate was critical to Nigeria's economic development, but pointed out that the challenges identified have continued to be a stumbling block to development of the sector. While making presentation on issues relating to finance and sharing ratio and primary joint venture or real estate entrepreneur, Ayo Olariwaju said the current trend of exchange rate, high interest rate among other economic indices in Nigeria have made real estate to be at low ebb, but it was quick to make it clear that there were steps to successful joint venture financing in real estate. The Lagos State Chairman of the institution, Olugbenga Ismail, stated that there was the need to unlock opportunities in the industry.
Because it makes all the sense to use debt, to use credit, to do business. Those that understand finance, when you run your finance figures. But here, if I do it, things like my internal rate of return becomes negative. I'm using double digit, 26%, 20% interest rate. The project is dead on arrival. That's why you see a lot of the bank-funded joint venture or development are, moribund. There are many abandoned projects in Lagos. It is very simple. If you use some of those funding, some of those finance that's available here, the project is dead on arrival. If you plug into your
leases. Right, what any joint venture does is collaboration. It brings people together with different expert resources of different things in order to make something happen. Now, for us, opportunities in the real estate industry. So, barren land, unused land that is not realizing its full potential is what we are talking about. Bringing the different things together, bringing finance, bringing development expertise, bringing different use capabilities into action to develop what the market wants at that time. That's what the opportunities are. Redefining situations that have run out of their potential. That is what we're talking about.
Stakeholders and anti-corruption crusade have again converged in Lagos to brainstorm on the reducing and preventing corruption in Lagos with a commitment to promote accountability and transparency in public sector in the state. This came to the front burner at the Civil Society and Media Roundtable on strengthening anti-corruption for reforms in Lagos State by the Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership (CACL), International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Reforms, as part of a program to be implemented over a period of 5 years at the federal level and in 5 states, including Lagos, that is IITEA. The chairman of Kakol, Depo Adeniro State, commended the Lagos State government for establishment anti-corruption agency known as the Lagos State Public Companies and Anti-Corruption Commission Law 2021 in an attempt to decentralize the fight against corruption in the country. He observed that this measure by the state government will help to deepen the culture of accountability and transparency in the affairs of government, increase public trust, improve the confidence of investors, and overall attract foreign investment and grow the economy of Lagos. Stakeholders vowed to collaborate with the government in understanding the depth of the fight against corruption within the public and associated private sectors in the state, while pointing out that impunity was an extension of the failure of rule of law, just as they advocated intentions that aim to promote rule of law and guide against corruption of Nigeria to have good governance.
Believe that there are contributions we can make to ensure the smooth running of the commission, and by sensitizing the state actors that are involved in the fight against corruption or that are supposed to be involved, including the Lagos State House of Assembly, the ministry, departments and agencies, by getting everybody together.
And that's